Hi folks, Shy here with another video. So you have an empty pen and it needs cleaning, but I have an alternative for you. I've got some pens here that have written their ink out, and we are going to create ink paints with the ink that's left in them instead of washing that ink down the drain. Let's get started. All right, so I have glass here with a little bit of water. Let's start with this TWSBI Vac700-R Iris edition piston filler. It's got Diamine Ash in it from the Diamine Ink Vent inks from 2021. It worked. Okay, now I have Diamine Ash paint, ink paint. We're gonna paint with these paints after I'm finished. All right, next up on the list, Sheaffer VFM that had some kind of red ink sample from Goulet, but I forget which particular ink it is. You can see that there, it's pretty empty, but we'll take another jar here and we'll so I've got a syringe here. I don't want to add any new water to this system. I want to try to have this as saturated as I can. You're able to see that. There we go. This is full of just slightly inked water, so I can suck it out. Now we have red ink paint. Ooh, this is going to be pretty. This is a TWSBI Go that has had Iroshuzuku Ku-Jaku, which is a wonderful teal colored ink. And this is a stub nib. Even as this is empty, it's got a ton of ink in it. So this is going to be exciting. So this has got a plunger filling system. So I'm just gonna, again, I'll tilt it a little. Next up is a TWSBI Diamond 580. This has TWSBI purple ink in it. And this is a piston filling mechanism. But I'm really glad that I have a variety of filling systems to show you how you can do this. I mean, this is so intuitive. I mean, you clean my pens, I saw this ink just like running down the drain. Wow, maybe I could do something with that ink. Okay. Pretty darn clean. Now I've got a Kaweco Sport. Okay. Yeah, I think this is Kaweco purple or violet. This was not a refilled cartridge. This was a Kaweco cartridge straight from the factory. All right. Oh, I have one more. This is a Parker Jotter pen. The Sheaffer VFM was the first fountain pen I bought in March 2021. Well, the first fountain pen I bought since October of 1984, when I bought a fountain pen in China when I was visiting China. But Parker Jotter and Sheaffer VFM fountain pens have in common is that they were both at Staples. Those were the last two pens I bought at Staples. I discovered the world of fountain pens on the internet, on YouTube. Or maybe this might be I think this is the TWSBI Orange, actually. Okay, we have a set of paints. Not sure what that equal is either. Here we have Diamine Ash, the Ku-Jaku, Iroshuzuku Ku-Jaku. We have the TWSBI Purple, and we have the Kaweco Violet. All right, let's do some painting. I originally was going to use this Mnemosyne 183 journal, which has very ink-resistant pages and which I've had a lot of fun very spontaneously spilling ink and drawing in. But I decided to go for Strathmore watercolor paper, 11 by 15 inches. All right, let's just start by spilling some. I'm not an artist. I play with ink and spill ink and paint and draw and doodle as a form of therapy. I find great relief in doing this, and it also brings beauty to my space, but I'm not creating a product for someone else. I can't tell you how good it feels to spill ink, to pour ink. It's like you're crossing some kind of barrier, your own stuckness, the artificial rules of the game, the just getting past yourself. Ooh, look at what it's doing right there. Wow, that's the Ku-Jaku interacting with the Diamine Ash. That is really cool. Oh, and look at what that red is doing with the TWSBI. I think this is the Kaweco Violet. Wow. Oh, and look at that. I then started finger painting, just using whatever kind of tool I had around to spread things around. But I had an urge to reach for some Noodlers X-Feather Black to add some massively saturated ink to this ink washy, faded out inks. I'm not sure how they worked together. The Noodlers definitely dominates. But the whole point of this is just total spontaneity. And look at how those inks are mixing. It brings me relief just to look at it again. Oh, I can use the syringe to save some of this black here. I'm going to put it into a glass now, but I'm ultimately going to put it in an empty ink vial. I've never done this before. Okay, now I am going to blot this. And here it is the next day, totally dry. Epilogue. I went away for a week and didn't cover the new paints that I had made. And now they're concentrated. And I think they'll actually be easier to work with. Obviously you can't spill them, but certainly you can just put a little bit of water on a brush or a few drops of water back in these containers, and these will be very useful paints. When I came home and saw that the water had evaporated from the jars of ink, and I was left to see just the concentrated parts of the ink, I was amazed to think that this amount of color, of concentrated joy, of exuberance, that all of that was what would be flushed down the drain in a normal cleaning of a fountain pen, because that was just the dregs that were left over that couldn't be used. There wasn't enough for the capillary action to take place. And yet through this process of cleaning the pens into a jar and then using the jar for paint, we've kind of given life to that ink. I know that I feel like it's helped to liberate me, and I had fun while doing it. If you got something out of this video, I invite you to massage that like button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.